Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Star Wars Out in the Dark. I am your storyteller. My name is Ravnos Archon here on Twitch. You can call me Will. Last we left off, we were missing Flid and Dr. Shakti. Excuse me. But we didn't do anything too crazy in their absence. I think I'll let you be the judge of that, though. We picked up with Silas trying to recuperate in his room. He kind of had a nice little moment with Aquila. They walked over, checked up on Jix and the rest of the people that they brought up from Beyond Till 6. Silas thought back to his connections with the Sons of Liberty to try to figure out what's going on with Dr. Shakti's brother and the other brother that they are now meeting. Edie came up to grab Drox while they were having a discussion, and that's when they kind of learned that Ingo was called to them by Drox himself, and that he was just kind of surprised that he answered so quickly, given what he does. And he kind of warned them that he shouldn't be agitated because he has a very short fuse. But otherwise, Silas helped everyone prepare for the worst. They kind of learned some other things about Dr. Shakti's family, including that they are part of a set of triplets, and they have two other brothers, Trill and Zev, that have kind of gone through the same thing, but they've gone through it alone. Silas ended up using the communication device with his sister, which I honestly thought was going to last a little longer. But then Edie did try to grab Ingo with the Force, but it ended up affecting Drox instead, which opens up a whole series of questions. And that's when the Zatsek was kind of jettisoned from the cruise ship and expelled into the hyperspace tunnel, where it kind of tumbled out, forced out of hyperspace unwillingly, and it started teetering towards a planet, which is unfortunately hasn't been checked on any of the scanners, as nobody was around to scan it. And it has kind of crashed into this desolate desert world with pockets of oases here and there. But Edie ended up noticing the tonal shift in Silas as the ship came to a very rocky stop. And this is when Silas learned that Doman Crow was the one that shot at him while he was possessed by Darth Zavot. Edie took a moment to try and read Silas's surface thoughts and emotion, and then it ended up sensing rage, frustration, and desperation, almost like a storm of emotions. And we left off with the group meeting one of the indigenous people, who is carrying around what seems to be a kyber crystal at the end of his spear. And we left off with the creature hurling force lightning at the two of them, and this is where we pick up with the crew. It's good to see all of you to gather together for the first time in a while.
Force lightning him back.
That's been a while.
That would be nice if Edie actually had that ability.
Not yet.
But if Edie had access to that power, would Edie use it?
Yeah, 100%.
Wow, we have come a long way from where you started.
Yeah, 3 dark side.
I mean, wait, because he started by shooting a beam of like a pulse out of his frozen body that damaged people.
I seem to remember. I seem to remember this situation differently.
I remembered it pretty damn well.
I remember being assaulted.
I was hesitant about even being your friend.
And look at where you are now.
And look at where we are now.
Now we're best friends.
We're best friends. That shot you in the face.
Silas and I are super best friends, right, Silas?
Super best friends.
Super best friends.
Barnaby's with us too, going, yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna hold the special pyramids.
I
Do
already know.
now,
No friendship can compare to Edie's and radio.
yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Now the question does become, because you did bring it up, would Silas have had Barnaby down in the cargo containment with him? And I'll remind you the rule I use with familiars in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, no. He's sleeping. He's sleeping upstairs.
Okay.
I know you.
Yeah.
No. I know you.
Okay.
Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know, Will. If he is down there and something happens to him,
Mhm.
there's gonna be an extermination of an entire species on this planet.
That's why I asked. I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure you were entering the scene on the right foot.
Okay.
If you want to murder everyone, that can be lesson number 1. Lesson number 1 of how to be a really good Jedi. Yeah.
And what did I miss?
Yeah.
What did I miss last session?
Oh, you have.
Oh yeah.
Nothing.
Katie.
Nothing.
Obviously, I'm a Jedi master now. It's fine. I'm gonna go talk to Aquila.
Yeah.
Do not bring Aquila into this. Thank you. You've endangered her life enough.
Oh. So, the ship rocks as Flid has been kind of at the side of Dr. Shakti this whole time. They have prepped the room that they were staying in as a kind of makeshift infirmary. And Addie and Illis have kind of become the caregivers. They're the kind of nurses to Dr. Shakti's physician. And so they've been kind of monitoring them and taking care of the situation. But the big thing is that the ship's crashed. Everybody in the room is kind of braced. Excuse me. And the ship has come to a very violent stop. And before the stop, there was a descent. There was the heat shields barely containing the damage on the ship, and the hard hit of the ship against the earth and the slide. And you would have heard the sound of metal being churned as it kind of scraped against the hard packed earth underneath the sand. But currently, everybody's kind of taking note of where everybody is. Excuse me. And Illis and Hattie have kind of come into the room to make sure that you two are safe. And as they're kind of checking over the vital signs, making sure that Xylus Shakti is okay, that's when you hear this kind of crackle, and you smell the ionization of the air. It smells like ozone suddenly. The moisture in your mouths is suddenly evaporated. Excuse me. And you see that everybody's kind of affected by it. Dr. Shakti, less so. There's a moment where you and Aquila kind of see each other through the open doorway to your room, and you can see her kind of licking her lips like she doesn't understand why her mother and father suddenly have parched lips and parched throats. And she looks at you with this kind of face of fear and anxiety. And then just as quickly, the crackle kind of ends. The ionization smell is still pervasive. But you hear two thuds from beneath you, from the cargo bay. To Edie and Silas, the lightning does no damage. This is not a lightning that you have studied in the great halls, in the great library. This is something completely different. You can feel the air is ionized. Silas can smell it. Edie just kind of can sense it. Excuse me. The wiring of the droid body is a little frazzled, so everything is kind of coming in staticky. But to Silas, there's no burning. There's no excruciating pain that comes with it. There's only, in both of you, the sensation of having lost something, some pillar of strength inside of you. The lightning, the yellow lightning, I should correct myself, has stripped you. It has eaten away all of your force points.
Ooh.
Oh, you.
That is
So
the
we take them
reaction.
off?
Yep, you're down to 0. That's the exact reaction I was looking for.
This is fine. I think I had a
I had-
1-0.
I had 5 force points.
Oh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh. Wonderful.
The creature, the humanoid, stabs the blunt end of its spear into the hull of the ship twice. This is the 2 thuds that Flid and Dr. Shati can hear upstairs. And Edie, you're not sure if it's your ocular receptors or the wiring being fried. Silas sees it clear as day. There's a swirl that kind of engulfs the crystal and shifts it into a pink color.
I'm right now I'm kind of just confused.
Yeah.
Because I'm like I'm just and I'm following his lead.
Okay.
Illik,
Thanks.
would it be possible to learn more of your tribe?
I
What?
can tell the headmaster, chieftain,
What
if he will allow it.
Wonderful.
what the hell did you do to us?
It is
Right?
a cleansing. And as he says that, he stabs the spear 2 more times, and Flid and Dr. Shakti hear the 2 more thuds. And this time, pink lightning shoots out of the crystal at the 2 of you. And again, Flid and Dr. Shakti can sense that smell of ozone. This time, there is an abundance of moisture in your mouths. It's to the point that almost in an instant you feel like you could easily be spitting out buckets of spit. Excuse me. It's like that sensation where you kind of feel like you have to vomit, like your mouth gets really, really watery. Again, though, Dr. Shakti and Akila are not affected to the same degree. And again, Edie and Silas feel no pain. There is no burning sensation. But this time, you feel the same thing. You feel like this is not something heinous or malicious in any way, shape, or form. But you do feel like it's taking something from you. And this lightning has robbed you of your dark side points.
Oh.
Oh.
All of them?
All of them.
Wow.
I only had 1, so
Welcome back, guys.
Oh.
That doesn't mean that you are no longer dark side, Edie. It just
Uh-huh.
makes atonement so much easier.
Okay, so I'm technically still in the same spot I was 20 minutes before this.
Yes and no.
I know I am. I feel like I am. Unless Will says differently.
You are still in the same mentality. You are
Okay.
just no longer influenced by the dark side of the Force. So there's no whispers. There's no excuse me. There's no leaning towards those emotions anymore.
Okay.
You can still feel them. They're still part of you. They're always going to be part of you. The dark side of the Force just kind of has opened your eyes to what darkness sits in you. But now you don't have the insurmountable kind of vision quest that you have to go undertake to get rid of like one dark side point, let alone 3 of them like you had earned.
Mm-hmm.
But the creature kind of looks over at you, puts the staff, the spear, kind of on his shoulders, and puts his arms up around it, kind of like a yoke. And there's a big smile on his face, and kind of looks over. You have been cleansed. He sees a start.
Thank you.
I will tell my chieftain. Are there more that need to be cleansed?
Well, I do know of a couple people up there that are not in the best of health at the moment.
You see, he taps his spear twice, and again, Flid and Dr. Silas, Shakti, hear 2 thuds, and his crystal shifts back to yellow. Would you like me to go up there and cleanse them before I go and speak to the chieftain?
Yes. I feel like it may be important for all of us.
I mean, do you mean like healing? Because that's what I was talking about. And mind you, I've been talking to you in my normal voice, like the regular voice, not Silas.
Do you not feel it? A weight has been lifted, yet the intent still remains. This may be important for all of us.
Sure.
This will be good.
I don't want to lose my Force points.
You don't use them. You'll be fine. But he kind of looks around.
Excuse me. Who said it? I didn't say it. I said to heal. Because am I wrong? Did I forget from the last episode that Dr. Shakti was like almost unconscious?
Yeah. Remember, you can always point up at where Brandon is, because Brandon is always going to be on top of you in squares.
Right there. You can look at that guy right there.
Yep, that guy.
Him. That was about healing. He's about making you get no more Force points.
But yeah, you see that the humanoid kind of looks around, sees the stairway, and then kind of looks back at the 2 of you expectantly.
Oh.
I believe you. Yes.
But Flid and Dr. Shakti, how would you like to proceed, having heard what you heard and having experienced what you've experienced with the 2 kind of bursts of ionization?
What was that? Did you feel that?
I felt something strange. Akila, are you okay?
She nods.
Tastes tasty in my mouth.
She kind of slowly meanders into the room.
What position am I in? Am I like laying down injured, or can I like sit myself up and I'm okay?
You can sit yourself up. They've handled it to the point where you still have the wound, but it doesn't do anything pervasive to you. It doesn't do anything with a hindrance to what you're doing. They recommend that you stay kind of lying down, not putting any weight on it, but You can
Okay.
move around.
Are there any weapons near me?
Gillis has a blaster pistol on his hip, and you notice that Hattie does have a blaster rifle on her back.
How about anything that's like small enough to be thrown, or like little knives or something? Anything like that?
Not that you can see.
Okay. I think that we should investigate. I'm saying that aloud.
Mhm.
You just stay in bed, Dr. Shakti.
All right. So if you want me to stay in bed, then I recommend that someone else investigate, but I don't want to lay here unarmed. Can I please have something to protect myself?
Gillis will gladly give up his blaster pistol.
Stay here with Dr. Shakti and make sure nothing happens to them.
And are we all in the same room, like Akila and her parents?
Akila's in the room with you, but it's you, Flid, Akila, Gillis, and Hattie.
Okay. I want Akila to be with her parents. Can someone escort her to them?
Hattie reaches out towards her hand, and as she does, you see this thin, almost eerily elongated creature, this bipedal humanoid, walk into view. There's this gnarled stick of a walking staff or spear that is tipped with this jagged crystal that has a yellow hue to it. And behind it, you can see Edie and Silas walking with it, but it kind of looks over at the room where the two of you, where all of you are, but more primarily like Dr. Shakti and Akila. And you can see its almond-shaped eyes and its kind of small mouth go from a thin line on its face into this kind of grimace of a frown, and it just kind of points its spear in your direction.
I'm shooting.
Okay.
I was gonna
Why is it pointing a spear at me?
I was gonna jump in front of Dr. Shakti.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you don't have to do that. I'm shooting the guy.
Roll your blaster skill. See what happens.
Not that great. Where is blaster? It's in.
Under dexterity.
Okay, I don't have a blaster skill.
Oh, then it just defaults to dexterity then.
Okay. All right. Let's see what happens, and I might add a character point.
Okay.
It's not great.
17 and 1 on the wild die.
Okay, I'm gonna add 2 character points.
Okay, sure.
Get Jeff's face.
Jeff, you're muted.
4 more.
The
21
character
total.
points don't matter. They don't matter at all. That red die, that red little square around the number.
That's what
Really?
matters. That's what matters the
It
most.
doesn't like add anything.
No, it does. It does.
Okay.
Which of us does she hit, Will?
Even our odds. And
Well, I was gonna jump in front of her, Dr. Shakti.
Edie, even our
Yeah?
odds in your favor.
Even.
Here's a 3. So, excuse me. As the 3 of you come up, and you're kind of showing this creature the ship, and you point to the infirmary that was Dr. Shakti's room, it goes over. The 3 of you kind of see it raise its spear tip towards the room itself, and then you see Dr. Shakti just kind of pull a blaster and fire. Silas, would you like to dodge?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's have you roll your dodge skill. 22 is enough. The
Wow.
blaster goes wild. The monster just kind of the monstrous humanoid just kind of stands there as this energy weapon is discharged in his direction. He has no idea what it is. And as it flies past him, he kind of turns to look towards Silas and sees the gunslinger just kind of roll off to the side. And I think instinctively just kind of pull open the refrigerator door and hide behind it. But the thing is unfazed. You can see looking at him that he has no idea what a blaster is or what a blaster bolt could do to it.
Doctor, that
What
is
did I
unfortunate.
do to you, Doctor?
That's
I wasn't
unfortunate
aiming for
truth,
you. I
guess.
was aiming for the creature that was threatening me with some weapon I don't understand and have never seen.
This is no
And you
threat.
didn't think that us walking with it, that we would let it harm you purposefully.
It's been quite a while since I've seen you, Silas, so I don't know.
Their name is Ilik. They are a scout for their native tribe.
And why are they pointing weapons at me?
They are here to do a cleansing so that we may be allowed to meet with their tribe leader.
I don't need to be cleansed.
A cleansing.
It feels nice.
No, I don't think it feels nice. I felt some weird stuff in my mouth, and it was clear that it was more intense for everyone else. So I don't know that we need to be messing with that kind of energy.
Dr. Shakti's correct. You don't need a cleansing. I don't. Could probably use a cleansing.
But
It looks over into the room as Flit is rambling and is just like, "This does not concern you. This is only for the Jedi." And it kind of points at Dr. Shakti and it points at Aquila.
Ilik, I've
I get in the way.
already assured you.
I jump in front of the spear in front of them.
yeah, and I pull Aquila behind me.
Ilik, I've already assured you, they are not Jedi. They just understand the Force.
This is Jedi. No Jedi on the planet are
I
allowed.
agree.
I'm
Th-
not a
there
Jedi.
There are no Jedi on the planet.
And again, it turns towards Flit, and you see it bear these kind of very jagged, shark-like teeth from its little maw. I am not talking to you, big eyes. Move, or be moved.
Be moved it will be, but you're not gonna harm them.
They're not. He's not gonna. And I close the door. Like I kind of quite carefully close the door of the refrigerator, and I start walking. I'm like, "There's no harm to be done. We're not harmed, and we kind of crashed very hard, and we need help to be able to fix this ship or get out of here. Seems to be the only help we have at the moment."
Ilik, is there someone who understands medicine in your tribe? We have a woman preparing to give birth, and our friend the doctor received serious damage.
There are healers, yes, in the tribe.
I think we can trust them. Trust him. Trusted.
All right, fine, but you're not aiming that weapon at Aquila. That's the deal I'll make. You want me to play nice? I'll play nice, but you can't put that toward my niece.
I will not point it at her.
Okay.
Step to the side.
The second you step to the side, you see him slam the butt of the spear into the floor twice, and you see the yellow lightning just shoot over from the spear tip and arc through Dr. Shakti into Aquila.
No!
And both
I knew
of
that
you,
was coming when he said it. The way he said it,
both of you
yeah.
have lost your
I knew
force
that was
points.
coming.
Like, I'm not gonna aim at her. I'm gonna aim at you. It's still gonna hit her.
Lightning does what lightning does.
I knew it.
But yeah, the two
Can it
of you,
resuscitate a Sith dragon? I mean, a Force dragon?
I mean, you could take it to the healers and see what happens.
We still have the wormling.
Yeah. But yeah, you see the lightning arc through Dr. Shakti, through into Aquila, and both of you don't feel any pain. There's no burning. There's no sensation of being jolted. It's just this sudden loss of something. And it's just that your force points are gone.
While it's happening, are we like frozen or can we move?
No, you can move. You can move.
I'm gonna turn my body around so that I'm facing Aquila and put my hands out for her to hold my hands and look into her eyes.
Oh yeah, like you can see that her hair is kind of standing on end. It's almost like you get the effects of being magnetically charged for that brief instant that the lightning kind of courses through the two of you, and the moment she puts her hands in yours, the lightning's over.
Dr. Shakti, you okay?
I'm okay. Aquila, are you okay?
She kind of looks around and she's like, "Yeah, can we do it again?"
I think Aquila's okay.
And then you hear the two thumps again. If you turn around, you see the kyber crystal kind of shifting hues into a pink tone. And then again, he stabs it twice, and this time you see, excuse me, the pink lightning come out of the tip, but it only affects Dr. Shakti. You can see that there's something strange that even though you're still touching Aquila, it doesn't arc into her. But again, there's that moment of static electricity kind of vibrating through your body. There's no pain. And you also have your dark side points removed, eaten away. And as he slams his spear tipped, the spear butt twice again, you see this time the kyber crystal kind of shift into a neutral white color. And then you hear it crack. And there's a very somber moment as you see this strange, elongated humanoid kind of bring the spear tip down into his hands, and with the care of somebody attending to a child or the elderly, excuse me, you see it remove the crystal from its housing. And he kind of holds the two shards in either hand, the spear underneath his arm, kind of resting on one of his wrists. He's a bad sign.
So
Let's go on
It-
pilgrimage.
It didn't do that before. What happened there?
He said that when our crystal breaks, our time is called. It's time for me to make the long walk.
Like to your death.
He nods and he hands you one of the shards. I will take these to my elder and tell him that you are coming. I will leave him the other shard with him, that he knows it's you.
You enjoy the journey.
what direction is your elder?
He starts to make his way downstairs, and he kind of crawls out of the hole left, the hole that you have kind of pushed open with your landing ramp, and He takes maybe 20 steps out into the sand, and as you can see, the two kind of stars out in the center of whatever system you're in, you notice that one is this kind of pulsing, excuse me, this kind of tiny pulsing blue star, and the other one is just this large red monster. And he digs his spear into the sand, pointing in a direction. And he kind of nods. You will follow the line. Spear is drawn sand. You will see the oasis. I will tell the guards to expect you.
Thank you, Ulik.
I wish you well on your journey.
As I too.
You see him start to walk in the same direction that the spear is pointing in.
And so I turn back around, like I look at him walk off, and I turn back around. I'm like, well, I believe we might need some lessons on order on that blaster, Dr. Shakti, but it's good to see that you are up.
I apologize that it went in your direction. That wasn't my plan.
I assume so. I didn't think you hated me that much. And I just smirk. And I go up to Flid, and I'm just standing. I'm like, Captain, does not look. It does not bode well for the ship. It was a pretty bad. It was a pretty bad accident.
Yeah, my noggin hurts.
Standing on the outside of the Zatsek, you can see that it is worse for wear. The landing pads, the landing gear itself is all destroyed and kind of trailing off in the crater that you've left in the kind of small, shallow valley from where you impacted and came to the screeching halt that you're at now. There's just pieces of the ship strewn about.
There's a sign. Look at Silas. We need to talk, Silas. In fact, we all need to talk. I look at each one of them, Edie, Dr. Shakti, and Silas. I can no longer be the captain. I fit. Be the captain I never was. It was foolish of me to take on this role. Since I've been captain, been nothing but one calamity after another, and nothing but catastrophe. And I got Dr. Shakti shot. The crew was split apart for a while. We got possessed, Silas. Lost Edie. The ship is crashed. Look where we don't even know where we're at. I had to shoot my wife that wasn't my wife. I don't even know if my wife and kids are alive anymore. I just dropped to my knees in tears. I'm a mess. I'm just. I pull out the blaster and I toss it in front of me. I'm like, can't be captain. I'm so sorry, Dr. Shakti. Sorry, Edie. I'm sorry, Silas.
If I can interject, Cap- Captain Flid.
No, not captain. Just
No, I believe you are taking this too hard on yourself, because it was only a matter of a handful of coincidences to leading you to what appears to be this breaking point. If anything, you have done very well to lead us through these tumultuous times. I, for one, am glad to have you at the helm of the Zotzek. I cannot speak on behalf of the rest of the crew, but just because we have had too few days that are bad does not mean all the stars in the galaxy have gone out.
I very much agree, Captain Flid. It's not your fault that a lot of this has happened. You're taking so much ownership and responsibility. And I understand because you feel like you're the one in charge. But at the end of the day, you are doing a wonderful job protecting us and keeping us safe and continuing on our mission. It's not your fault that I was shot. You didn't do the shooting.
I provoked your brother. You, I,
That isn't your
Captain,
fault.
Flid was provoking somebody when that's not me.
Good. You were doing what you felt was best. We both didn't trust him and got a sense that something was wrong. And you were being brave and strong and speaking your mind and making sure that this person was put in their place. You had no idea that that would cause them to shoot me. I had no idea that my own brother was capable of that. That's not on you. That's on him.
It's foolish. I was never picked up a blaster pistol and shot anything in my life, and when I do, it's an android replica. I don't even know, an abomination of my wife.
And you did a
I
very
walk
good job at it.
I walk down over and I kneel down and I grab the blaster like by the barrel and I just go, now don't you think that we should probably finish what you started and find where your actual wife is? And I point the blaster. I'm like, it's not your fault. We don't need your help to be shot. We're fine doing that on our own. And I smirk and I hand him the blaster and I go, you can't blame yourself for, and nobody else is around. It's just us four, right? Will?
Yes, it is. It is just the four of you.
Okay, so I realize that I'm talking in Silas's accent, and I go, sorry, and I go back to my real voice, and I'm just like, you can't put all that on yourself. Yes, you're the captain, but guess what? Captains fail, and then what do? They get right back up and they make it right for their crew.
And they acquire robot arms when their crew abandons them.
Reference.
Right.
Still wouldn't call it abandoning what we did, but
We definitely did not go look more for him.
Now, and I say this really sarcastically. I just go, now if you're just trying to pass the buck for one of us to fix the ship crashing, that's not going to work. You need to fix this ship, and then maybe one of us will take captain. And I say that as a joke, and I'm like, I'm kidding, but you need to fix the ship. But I'm kidding, but you do.
Need to fix the ship.
but I'm kidding. This goes on for an hour.
Yeah. Now, if you're ready, the good doctor here is still not in the best of shape, and we have a woman that's about to burst in the room with child, so we may want to expedite things.
That's all right.
And I put my hand out so for him to stand up.
I grab his hand and stand up.
Mhm.
I'm like, all right, wipe tears. I had sand in my eyes.
I believe, have you not been inside this whole time?
Oh,
No,
you
he
guys
said we were
were
outside of the ship.
standing
Oh.
outside.
right, we
You remember the
should
metal arms, but you forget where we're standing. God.
Yeah.
we should gather everybody, take whatever essentials, belongings, the bear, so it's not encumbersome. We head that direction, and I point in the direction of the spear and the line to the oasis that this total stranger, who I have no idea who he is, but they seem to trust him. Go ahead there for supplies, medical attention, and no point in guarding, protecting this ship. It's a total wreck. Now, Barnaby and Radio will come with us as well. And the protocol droid have a name out of character?
I thought
No,
that
we never.
you
We
were
have a
given a
name for
name.
that droid?
Find Pro.
Yeah, well, that droid's coming with us too.
Well, we used to have P3. Now we have Protocol Droid and a woman who is nurturing. They are pulling me. No, it's my shardling. Okay, no, that's a note about a dream I had.
Okay. You and Barnaby are coming.
That's why it's taking him like a week to do a lesson plan.
Yeah.
Stop! No, stop!
Week.
This is very true.
Yep. Yeah. Our little boys all grown up.
Oh.
I don't think anybody ever asked the protocol droid's name, so I don't think I ever wrote it down.
Yeah. In character, I'm like, and protocol droid, and nobody seemed to select the name.
We'll
Wasn't he
call it.
rude? Wasn't he mean to us?
I believe it was a woman.
Wow. All right.
I think P3 was
P3
was a bit
has my
sarcastic.
shardling inside of it and is now completely evil.
It's not completely
Great.
evil.
That's
Uh,
good. Good job.
This whole ship was cleansed of evil.
Just
It's
like
been
his
saved.
dad.
So I kind of look to Dr. Shakti and I'm like, so yeah, you had mentioned about your brother, not exactly that you wouldn't expect that from him. I guess what happened. And I point to that as we start walking, and I'm like, he's not a very good person.
I gathered that.
He's a gangster.
Yeah, I gathered that.
Yeah. So yeah, that whole cruise liner is a front for illicit activity. It's been that for quite some time. So yeah, we probably have not made friends with the Void Star at this point, which is the group that he's a part of. But that's definitely something. I don't know about you, but I like a little revenge.
Sure. I think I mean he definitely made that clear to Flit and I while we were there. He was offering us a job opportunity that didn't feel comfortable to me. It also seems like he's like a cog in the machine. He's not, I mean, he's clawing his way up, you know, in that machine, but he's not the top. He's not necessarily the person to go after. I mean, I understand, like, just personally, the fact that he shot me. Sure, I would be fine with revenge. I'm just saying that if we really want to like do something about this, he's just going to be replaced. It's not going to change anything if we go after him.
Oh, understandable.
What if we take him out and implement the doctor as his successor? Because she because they killed him, and then we just follow the chain of command up. So the more people that we take out, the higher the doctor goes until we are at the top, and then we cut off the
I'm
head.
I'm not exactly talking about adding yet another thing to our plate. At this point, that extensive.
Or,
I was just referring to direct revenge for the gentleman that decided to put a hole in our compatriot.
I'm also
But
slightly concerned because I have siblings, a lot of them. The ones that are closest to me in age, we share a special connection that is unlike any other connection or experience I've had with anyone ever. And I don't have that same connection with all of my siblings, but I don't know if those of us who are similar in age may all share similar connections. So what I'm saying is my fear is that if we do seek revenge on Ingo, that Drox could be affected as well.
well, it was just a thought. I think right now our main concern needs to be to get to this village, get you patched up, and figure out a way off this rock.
Can I do first aid on myself?
Yeah, it's just a little bit more difficult.
Oh, I could just do accelerate another's healing.
Oh, if we just do that.
That would affect her character's daily allotment. Yeah, I'm just you.
Oh, her character. You're right. That's me.
Yeah, her character's daily allotment of strength checks at the end of the day to kind of
It would make it
heal
better
naturally.
or worse?
No, you would be facilitating a second roll for the day.
So I am assisting.
Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll do one of those.
Okay.
And let me use my force. Oh wait, I don't have that.
Yeah, and you have character points.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay.
That's not okay.
It's okay.
It's less okay.
It's okay.
Oh my god! Did you injure me more?
It's okay.
No.
Do you want to? Hey, do you want to join my club?
The Nobody Club.
Yeah.
What's your club?
So
Silas run my club.
Yep. So you can feel Edie pull on the force, and it kind of comes over and places a hand on Dr. Shakti's shoulder, but you don't sense anything different. So you don't know if he kind of insinuated touching you just to kind of close the proximity so that he could sense your surface thoughts, or you don't know if he's kind of like doing something else to check on you. You do feel the pull on the force, but you also don't feel any different.
I look at him like this.
Yeah.
I nod and then walk over to Silas. So did you feel what just happened?
Yeah, I felt a kind of a weight lifted off me.
Now, are you lying to me?
No.
What just happened right now?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Okay. It is okay. I used the force to heal the doctor. Not a lot.
That's what you were doing. Got it. Thank you.
Are you eavesdropping now, doctor?
I'm right here.
Oh, I thought I was a little further away.
The four of you are walking. There's not a lot of distance you can create.
Yeah, listen. That's why I wasn't even, and I wasn't really paying attention because I'm doing my scouting thing, like kind of looking
Yeah.
around, like. So
So I
I'm like,
used the force to heal the doctor.
Yeah,
oh,
That is something you can do, but you have to learn.
oh yeah.
Yes, it
Well,
is okay. I want you
that-
to think really hard. Try to imagine what emotion Flid is feeling.
all right. Okay. I don't like. Do I have to do the hand thing?
Uh, I, I do it because that's what I've seen people do.
why
As we all know, I don't really have hands.
why does it have
So
to be me?
I just look at Flynn and I just put my hand out like right in front of his face.
It has to be you because the doctor might be able to suppress their emotions. And I need Silas to get the full effect.
Okay, well, he
So
does
just
that.
Flid, I'm gonna get real close to Flid's ear. Flid, just
Why are
think,
we all getting
Flid,
close to me?
Flid, just think really hard about your dead wife.
But
That's
Silas says that she might not be dead.
And
Silas.
think about
Silas roll a sense roll.
I mean, Edie's heartless, yo.
Yeah,
Yo!
right?
Edie, I was like,
Yeah,
teacher.
super friends though, right?
I'm teaching.
Yeah.
This is gonna be me with my students.
Yep, I see it already.
I'm the trial run.
So Edie and Dr. Shakti both feel Silas pull on the force. There's a moment. Do you want to resist this, Flid?
a he says that, think about my dead wife. I'm a little hesitant, but I just can't help but overcome that sudden wave and rush
Hmm.
of the possibility that my wife might be dead. And then I start replaying that scenario of me shooting that atrocity in the head, and then just thinking if she's alive and not. So yeah, I can't help.
Okay.
It starts happening.
So
Before all this, though, I was trying to figure out what planet we might be on, and
Hmm.
I wrote planetary system.
yeah, without having checked the star charts, it's gonna be really difficult. So that's not enough. I saw what you wrote.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
as Silas kind of reaches out, you see Edie kind of lean in really close, like uncomfortably close to Flid, and you can see the little mouth kind of light up, like something's being said. There's no way that Edie could talk low enough for you not to have heard what he said.
Well, these years.
Uh, but you don't get the image of Flid's wife that Flid is thinking of. But you do receive the feeling. You do feel that desperation, that melancholy, that kind of void of hope. And in your mind, it manifests as a vision of you holding your sister's body in your arms. And that kind of sadness that would have come from that image starts to crash into you like waves on a broken shore.
I kind of just go like this, and I go, and I like put my hand on his shoulder, and I just squeeze, and I go, I'm sorry.
Oh, Silas, how was that?
I look over to you, and I'm like, not great.
I know. So now, and I pick Flid up. We will cheer him up.
Out of character, really quick, did we like let everyone know that we were walking? Like, did we tell people to? Is everyone with us? Like, what is happening right now? Why
I
we just started walking?
I assumed that you would have told Aquila to kind of tell everybody.
Start
Yeah.
getting their stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything that was said,
So
like to get their stuff, little belongings, nothing.
Oh, so then as I'm speaking in the accent then.
no,
Instead
there's
of
nobody.
saying-
There's nobody with you.
Because it's just us four.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's nobody
Okay.
with
Like
you.
getting ready to
Yeah.
come.
I want,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want nobody bringing a huge blow dryer or anything like that. You know, hair dryer.
Aw, heck, let's comb the
Good
desert.
reference.
Yeah.
You know, just the bare essentials. You know, just regular
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Everybody's their own best friends here.
So I'm Dot, obviously.
Yeah.
Um,
Flit is
I'm gonna be
John Candy.
yeah.
He's barf.
Barf.
Yeah.
Wait, Dot, you're not talking about the Animaniacs?
No.
I'm whacked.
No.
No. No. Talking about Spaceballs cast.
Baseballs.
Uh, who would Silas be?
Lone Star.
I don't
Okay,
want him to
yeah.
be a Lone Star though.
Yeah.
What?
Well, then make somebody good next time.
Oh.
Picking Flit up. I'm gonna carry it.
Can Edie and I now do the like from the movie?
Yeah, you can salute each other.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so you're picking him up like a child, like from the
Yeah,
armpits.
like a baby. No, like a baby. I wanna.
What? Why are you picking me up, Edie? What are you doing, Edie?
Like a princess carry.
Yeah, like a princess carry.
Why?
Because it's gonna cheer you up.
No, you're not. This is weird and uncomfortable. Wow.
No, it is okay. The less that you walk, the more you can think about how happy you will be when we find your wife.
Edie, just put me down right now. Just
I
down. Edie, down.
I am not a dog.
I don't need to be. I try to like.
It is okay. You have little legs, and we will get there faster.
This is not comfortable, Edie. You can put me down now.
Would you rather ride on my shoulders?
I don't want to do anything right now but walk with my own two legs.
I drop him. Fine.
Thank you, Edie. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
If you ever want a piggyback ride, I am more than willing.
I don't need a piggyback ride.
I'm injured. Where's my piggyback ride?
Page up the doctor.
Okay.
Yeah. If anybody needed a piggyback ride, it's Dr. Shakti.
I laugh and put my arms around my head like this and
And
enjoy
this
the ride.
And this is why you're the captain, Flid.
They are enjoying that.
Wonderful.
I haven't heard Dr. Shakti laugh in a long time.
In the distance, as the laughter kind of encompasses the area, you can see the tops of some trees. Some flora finally out of the bleakness of just the kind of yellow-brown sand that had stretched out. Even the ship now is barely visible on the horizon behind you. And as you crest a dune, you can see this very beautiful and lush kind of quadrant of Earth. There's a bubbling kind of spring in the center of it. There is this collection of primitive buildings that look to have been made up of pieces of starships. And you see that there's this one large, open, kind of communal building where the majority of these creatures are gathered. There's a fire pit in the center, and you can smell the scent of meat cooking. You can smell the scent of vegetables kind of being steamed. It is, for all intents and purposes, rather docile and peaceful image. You can hear, uh, as you get closer, the kind of chorus of voices singing um, as they finish up the daily chores for the day. And you can see two of the same kind of looking humanoids come walking, meet you. They have similar uh, crystal tipped spears that they are both kind of clear and translucent white as they approach you. And you see them kind of looking at their spear tips as they do approach, and they kind of nod. Hmm. You are the strangers that Ilik told us about, yes?
Yes.
I hold out the crystal.
You see them step away from it like frightened villagers. Like if you've just kind of broken a mirror in front of someone superstitious. They kind of have that step back, that kind of lean away. Um, yes, yes, we will take you to Girak. Come
I put it away when I see how like they react to it.
this way. And they start leading you to one of the larger buildings. And as you get closer, you see that there's no blurred line, as it were, from where the desert ends and the oasis begins. It is a hard, kind of straight line of sand stops here, grass starts here. And excuse me, they bring you to a building that's maybe 2 stories tall. The front of it is opened. The kind of communal area of the front of the house is where you see this older kind of creature of the same race, just a little more portly, a little bit thicker. Um, there's just this kind of wild hair that extends from the top of his head down to like past his shoulders. You can see that there's a couple lines of scarred flesh that start at the top of his left eye, like in the eyebrow region, and kind of come down his cheek to the corner of his mouth, and his eyes kind of cataract white. But his other one is a piercing kind of green eye that stands in contrast to his kind of yellowish skin. And he stands up as the 4 of you are brought in. The 2 guards kind of bow respectfully. One of them goes back towards the edge where they were patrolling. The other one stays at the corner of the building, kind of just observing you. And you see around this elderly creature, this elder, this kind of tribal chieftain, there is this beautiful knotted leather strap of a necklace that kind of holds this, from what Edie remembers, this beautiful natural cluster of kyber crystals.
Ooh.
And as you approach, you see that the color that was a kind of light green in the crystals shifts, and it becomes this translucent clear color. It's kind of like the absence of color. And he nods across the kind of gathering table that sits in front of him, and he comes around. You are from beyond the stars, this Ulik has told us.
Yes.
You are also Jedi.
No. As I explained to Illich, we do not associate ourselves with the Jedi. We understand the powers they possess, but we are not them.
You call on the Force. You are Jedi.
then we mean no Jedi. We mean no harm as Jedi, no harm as those from beyond the stars.
It's been a long time since Jedi set foot here. A long time since Jedi have taken forgotten.
Taken what?
Forgotten my people.
What did they take from your people?
I think.
I know the feeling.
It is said long ago when Gritrig was a jewel of the Jedi, many would come here, taken. It was until the Jedi fought Jedi that Othan became what Othan is now. Othan survives because we survive. You see him walk over, and he has the guard help him to pull away a kind of sliding bamboo wall, and there is a beautiful and intricately kind of carved and painted uh, collaboration of old art that has kind of gone from tribal cave wall paintings to kind of more articulate, more advanced relief art. Um, and between the two of them, they go over to the north wall. They roll up the bamboo that kind of keeps this protected, this mural protected. And then they go to the south wall and they unroll the bamboo wall there to reveal another um, kind of uh, stone wall that has been kind of placed here to show the history of these people. And it goes in the extreme opposite direction. It goes from relief, kind of carved motifs on the left to this beautiful oil painting kind of Leonardo da Vinci, Raphael esque, uh, Michelangelo style of brushwork to this laser engraved, kind of precise muraling that has dictated their people's kind of storytelling, their origins, and piecing it together. It looks like this was a planet that was held in high regard by the Jedi. Uh, and it isn't until you get to the laser engraved kind of collection that you can see the system laid out before you. The sector is called Gritrig. There are four main celestial bodies and the twin stars. The stars themselves are named Kintriv and Vitrik. The first planet is called Havar, has no moons and an atmosphere of sulfur. The second planet is called Wergol, and it is said to possible to sustain life with a question mark. Third planet is Othan, and you can see from the depictions and the descriptions here that it is a verdant green planet. excuse me, with 19 moons encircling it, almost like a private asteroid belt. And then the farthest planet is Probeev, an ice planet that is tidally locked, with 2 moons named Huvok and Gravuk. But there is this kind of, after the motifs turn to the oil paintings, there is a big kind of depiction of war between these collection of colored lightsabers like blue, green, yellow, um, against just its army of red bladed lightsabers. And afterwards, the name Vergethen is repeated every time that it refers to these people.
Does that name ring any bells?
You could try to make a scholar roll. Let's see.
I heard of this species. I wrote alien species earlier.
Oh.
I want that too.
Sure. So Edie remembers seeing something about reports in the Great Library of several planets that have gone kind of missing, or have been lost to several of the kind of periods where either the Sith or the Republic were in charge, and how all the maps get reprinted and restructured. But there's nothing about the Vergethen. Flid has never heard of the Vergethen himself, but several people that he's interacted with have always referred to a forgotten race, to anybody that has been lost to the shifting of the star charts or to warfare as the forgotten. And in some languages, particularly those that don't have the hard T or the Fs, it's always been referred to as the Vergethen.
I nudge Flid, like captain.
Very interesting. A lot of the history here.
The tribal elder nods.
As Edie mentioned, we are Jedi. I definitely am not a Jedi. And I point to the picture with the lightsabers. You don't have to worry about that happening. Thus, ship crash. We are in need of medical attention. We have one of our crewmates. He's pregnant and possibly due for birth any moment. Dr. Shaki has been hurt as well. Ship is destroyed. We come to you humbly asking for help.
We can have healers brought over. You are free to stay with us until such a time as you can find a way off world or you can stay with us till your dying days. There is a collection, a graveyard of ships that have also crashed here, not too far from here. Would scavenge for parts.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
He holds up his hand. He's like, I only ask that you erase any mention of this planet, of this system, from your star charts.
Gladly.
Have my you have our word, my word. My word as captain.
And you may freely go about the ghost yard.
Thank you.
We'll have any kind of motions to the guard that's there. Yusuf, did you?
The rest of the crew should be on their way soon. Is there anything dangerous about this planet that we should know about, or
There are many dangers, of course.
oh,
You see him go back to the table. He pulls out from underneath this beautifully engraved, intricate stone bowl that looks to be maybe like a foot and a half in diameter. You see him put the half of the shard that Illik lost into it. And he holds out his hand. You have its brother, yes?
I pull it out.
And you see again, with great reverence, they comes over, he pulls it out of your hand like he's being handed a child, a young baby. He takes it over and he places it very carefully next to its twin shard. And then, with this equally impressive kind of stone pestle, he sighs, and as he starts to mutter something in a language none of you recognize, you see him just bring the thing down like a hammer. And he starts to crush the kyber crystal.
Iraq, I have a
Stops.
I have a question, if it is all right.
Ask. You have been cleansed.
What will happen to him on the walk?
Must face the dangers of Othan by himself.
And if he were to succeed?
Then he would be the first of his kind.
I see.
For Gethen do not last long without their mate. See him kind of motion to his kyber crystal.
So, you and the crystal are the same.
We are bonded at birth.
And the Jedi stole them from you.
No, the Jedi would take us from them.
I don't want to sound insensitive. I am aware that the Jedi use the crystals, but why would the Jedi steal you?
Before the dark time, Gethen were said to be the greatest of Jedi. There is beyond the ghost, beyond even the white tides, there's a remnant of Jedi temple school once was built here.
Where?
And you see him pull out the one thing that Edie has. Excuse me. Edie's the only one that would recognize this thing, and Edie hasn't seen one since he was on Coruscant. But it is a small, rectangular kind of stained glass box. And as he places it on the table, you see him kind of motion to you. It must be a Jedi that activates it. None of the Vergethan can do it now. This has been the curse of the dark time.
Uh, with your permission, I will open it.
He nods. And you see the guard in the corner stand up and hold the spear out towards you. But again, the kyber crystal on the tip is still clear.
Thank you. And I turn it on.
All right. Make a control or sense or alter roll, whichever you'd like.
All right.
That's fine.
All right.
You don't need to be great about it.
Okay.
You just kind of extend your force out towards it. You can feel this pulse of energy going towards it. And as you do, pieces of it start to react to you. You see them becoming blue, green, purple, yellow, white. So all of them just kind of hum with this white glow, and they reorganize themselves to create this opening in the center. And the holocron projects this image, this holographic view of what looks to be a human with salt and pepper hair, just kind of this very well kept beard, this short mop of hair that you see him kind of push away from his left eye as he clears his throat and just kind of looks at the recording device. I hope this is recording. I am Master Ventrin Flick. I am putting down what I have learned my years at the Academy on Tython as I embark towards Ossus and the class that I'm looking forward to teaching. It has been some time since the other masters and I met to discuss the new school on Othon. But we have high hopes. People there are unlike any that I have ever seen before. Have a natural affinity for the Force. Some of the other masters and I believe this is a remnant this system must be one of few where the Force was birthed. People will naturally gravitate towards kyber crystals. They are grown in the local plant life. They are one and the same, not huddled or clustered in these frozen wastelands. I have seen kyber crystals that react to you, your emotions. New dawn will come of this place. The Jedi handle it correctly. You see him turn to the right suddenly. He nods. Very well. This is the first of what I hope to be many entries. I look forward to passing on what I have learned. There's a smile that comes across his face, and he's just like, so much to do. You see him lean in, and his hand kind of covers the projector, and then the image dies and the box closes again.
Is that name ring any bells? Master Veteran Flick?
Make a scholar roll.
Okay. That's a good number.
14. That is a good number. You remember that he was one of the names that's always associated with the foundation of what would become Jedi doctrine. Excuse me. He is one of the pillars of what you have come to realize is how Jedi are taught now. He was one of the 4 instrumental pillars that created the teachings that have been passed on since the Golden Age.
I relayed that information to everyone.
Okay.
Why have you kept this?
It is a reminder. It is warning. Master Flick wanted it to be here in case more Jedi ever came.
See,
The world he knew is not the world that sits outside. See him point out beyond the line.
see. Where are the remnants of this temple?
Afar to the west, the white sea, the ivory sea of sand. It's a dangerous journey foot.
On ship. Captain,
Yes.
if the ship somehow becomes operational, I have a request.
Would like to go see this.
If it is all right with you, yes.
Um, be fine with me, but we will have to discuss it with everybody in the crew as well, and the rest of the crew. After all, we did make promises to everybody else.
think a short trip would answer some questions. So I'm a vote in favor.
as well.
It's set then. Take a short trip. Can be just us. The rest of the crew recovered from everything and can probably use some downtime. Been a lot of hardship since we left Bespin.
The elder nods at the guard. Warn the healers that they will be needed. The guard nods and hesitantly leaves you alone with the elder.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
I nod.
You have a place to stay as long as you do not do anything Jedi.
No concerns from us.
As I mentioned, we're not Jedi. I'm not Jedi. I'm definitely not a Jedi.
You see, he points at the three other people with you. They are Jedi.
It by your standards, to be crystal clear, there is a child with us who is also, and I bring up my hand. It's like Jedi.
When he calls me, says that, and says that points to the three of us. I don't know what the anatomy of my race is, but my knuckles would be turning white.
Yeah.
From squeezing.
Yeah. But he kind of sees you, give him this information, and he nods. This child has been cleansed, according to Illik.
Yes. It would feel wrong to bring her here knowing your trepidations with those with this gift, and have you and your people not be aware of it, nor to put her in a danger that we cannot prevent.
Do you wish her to be severed from this connection? Do any
No.
of you wish to be severed from this connection?
I am fine, thank you.
I said no right away. I don't know if you heard me.
Yeah, I heard you. Very well. There is a ritual to sever this connection. This is something my people have been forced to undertake to protect ourselves.
From the Jedi.
He nods.
I understand.
And when he says that, excuse me, Edie and Dr. Shakti both come to the realization that every time that Illik used the crystal, there was never any pull on the Force. There was never any pulse or any kind of hint that he was calling on the Force.
anything?
He sits down. You would like to eat?
Would not say no to food. Smelled it on the way in. It smelled very delicious, very simple ingredients, I must say. Nevertheless, it did hit the nose really well.
He nods.
I sit down quietly.
Yayla, bring food for our guests. And from behind a screen somewhere in the room. Yes, master. And you can hear somebody kind of shuffle off. How many people can we expect from your crew?
Oh, wow. Fox's wife.
What is it, like 8, 9, 8?
And this. Well, the droids, it's 11 or 12.
Wait, don't count the droids. We won't be eating.
So it's Drox and the fam. So Drox's wife, Akila, that's 3. Biggs, Illis,
The two girls.
girls, that's 7. This
Auric.
guy, Rick, that's 8.
You 3.
Hey, us 3 will be 11. Altogether, it will be 11. Forgetting anybody.
What about Nella? Is she coming? Is she on the way? I alerted her.
Well, I didn't say anything to her, but my thing's been on this whole time.
It has?
Yeah, I turned it back on after you and I had our conversation.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know about
Wait,
that.
so like she hears you, or she's tracking you
Yes.
after our conversation.
Remember, I turned it off.
Okay,
Told you what I needed
right.
to tell you, and I turned it back on.
So we formed our special club, and then you turned it back on.
Correct.
Okay, I'm glad I haven't said anything in relation to the club since.
Sure, Jeff, in game and out of game, is thanking and praying every moment that doesn't happen.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Wherever that little club is.
All right. It's a members only club.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
You get a
Get
jacket.
shot and get brought back to life, and I got you.
I got shot.
You already had the membership ID.
Did you die?
But did you die?
No, but I brought you back to life. So
You did. You did. You are solely to thank for our club.
Yeah.
does that make me the founder by proxy?
Yeah,
If you
absolutely.
like.
Yeah,
the more
hey.
the merrier.
Hey,
So-
come on in.
So does that mean that Edie committed a mutiny to take over this club?
I think
Well,
so.
because
I started a different sect of the club.
yeah,
Okay.
We
you got to
call
kill a dragon first, a baby
yeah,
dragon.
yeah. You have to commit a murder to join the club. So, thankfully, Silas and I both have done that.
Quite a few times.
It's true.
Oh, I've done a couple murders. Oh god.
I want to be part of the cooking club.
I murdered my trainer.
Yeah, technically. And after a moment, you see this very meek, very kind of young-looking female of the species come in with plates of food that she kind of sets off and brings to each of you as a sampling of what they're making and cooking. And she kind of bows at the head of the table. I hope it is to your liking. And she starts to make her way back wherever she came from. And one of the guards comes back. Sir, there are people coming. And he kind of nods. It's fine. He's the rest of their crew. And the guard shakes his head. No, in the sky. And he shoots up to his feet. And he kind of looks at the four of you. What treachery is this?
We
What?
have
We
no
have
communications.
don't know what this is about.
And
They have followed us.
And if you follow him outside, you will see a squadron of Jedi starfighters and their Aether sprites and 3 Venator class capital ships descending into the atmosphere.
You couldn't wait till they helped us, could you, Chewie? You could have just waited a little bit longer.
And I think this is a good spot
No!
to
Oh,
call it for the
oh,
night.
yeah.
Don't do it!
Yeah.
Of course.
You know what
So I'd like to thank everyone for joining us this evening. As always, you can catch us every Friday with our Star Wars campaign. As always, please continue to wear your masks in public. Continue to wash your hands. Keep your distance. If you haven't gotten vaccinated, please go out and get yourselves vaccinated. The sooner we can take care of everybody, the sooner we can get out of this situation. And if you are watching live on Twitch, as always, I am putting up some phone numbers in case you need to reach out and get some help. I know that it has been a difficult time for some of us, myself included, and sometimes you should have access to help of any sort, whether it be somebody to talk to or somebody to vent to, or just to kind of get yourselves heard. Just be aware that mental health should not be a taboo or a stigma that is hidden behind closed doors. We should all be able to take care of each other. And if you are not in the United States, I'm also putting up a link that you can find the resources you need to help yourself in whatever part of the world that you're in. So I look forward to seeing all of you again either next Friday for our Star Wars campaign or on Monday for our Vampire the Masquerade campaign, Salem by Night, which takes place in 1984 Salem, Oregon. You could have caught me on McStabber Studios' Werewolf the Apocalypse game every Tuesday. I might pop back in for a Q&A if they do that at the end of the season. But just be aware that I have died in that game. And as a special treat, tomorrow there's going to be a special one-shot. It's going to be our 3rd episode of our one-shot of Dungeons & Dragons Pirates of the Waldstrom, which has some fantastic variety streamers that I have made friends with over the year that I have been streaming. So I look forward to seeing you in the audience, whether that be for Star Wars, for Vampire, for Dungeons & Dragons, for Werewolf, or the Mage game that I have run at McStabber Studios as well, or the Legend of the Five Rings game that is coming back from its break. But either way, I will see you when I see you. Take care of each other. Be safe. Take care.